Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of your IGCSE Tutors. Without further ado, let's start to discuss this Cambridge IGCSE Economics Paper 1. First question. Economists describe resources as being scarce. What must be a consequence of scarce resources? So first, what forms scarcity? It's from unlimited ones and limited resources. So in an economy, we have this concept called productive capacity, which is the maximum possible output the economy can produce. So definitely, the resources cannot satisfy all the wants. Therefore, wants will exceed productive capacity. So the answer is D. Wants will exceed productive capacity. Question 2. The diagram shows the PPC for an economy producing consumer goods and capital goods. The economy is currently producing OM consumer goods and OG capital goods. It decides to increase production of capital goods to OH. What is the opportunity cost of this decision in terms of consumer goods? Currently, the economy is at a rate point here. By moving capital goods to OH, we need to sacrifice ML, which is at this green point. So this one, the red box is the original one, and green point is where we move to OH. So where is the opportunity cost? Which is ML. Yeah, this part. So B is the answer. Moving on. A hospital has spent all of its budget allocated for employing doctors. What is the opportunity cost to the hospital of employing an extra doctor? First, opportunity cost is the cost of the next best opportunity given up when making an economic decision. And right now, the decision is to employ one extra doctor. However, there is a limitation where you need more money to hire an extra doctor. So where are you going to get the extra money when you already spent all the budget allocated? So in order to hire extra doctor, you need to give up something. In this case, the opportunity cost is to reduce the number of nurses employed. So the answer is A. Moving on. Question 4. There has been an increase in the demand for wheat. This has led to an increase in the demand for labor to harvest the wheat. Which branch of economics covers these two concepts? So keyword for this question is demand. As we know that demand is included as one of the microeconomics topic, the answers are definitely for both are microeconomics. Question 5. In the UK, the price of timber used in house building increased. This was because of a boom in the UK house building industry and a shortage of drivers to deliver the timber. What happened in the UK market for timber to cause this price increase? So first, a boom in the UK house building industry means increase in demand for timber. And a shortage of drivers to deliver the timber means a reduce in supply for drivers that deliver timber. The keyword is price increase. So, and we know that when demand increase, demand curve shift to the right, and when supply decreases, supply curve shift to the left. I would draw a graph right now, a demand curve right now for you to better visualize it. So we can see that when the quantity demanded increase, price also increase. So now I'll draw a supply curve. Now we can see that when quantity supply reduces, price also increase. So this justifies our answer. The answer is C. Question 6. What does a supply curve show? So if you know the relationship between quantity supply and price, they are positive. But if you don't, we can draw the supply curve to show you. So this equilibrium price and quantity supply equilibrium. So when price increase to price 1, quantity also increase to Q1. So this is the general relationship. When price increases, quantity supply increase, and vice versa. So when price reduces, quantity supply also reduces. Answer is D. Moving on, question 7. A global pandemic causes the demand for air travel to decrease. Which value for price elasticity of supply of air travel will cause the number of tickets for air travel to fall the most? Whenever you see fall the most or rise the most, it's definitely price elastic, because the quantity supply is very responsive to the change in price. For price elastic supplies is always more than 1, while price inelastic supplies is always less than 1. In this case, we find the answer with more than 1, which is D, 1.5. Question 8. What is the disadvantage of a market economy? A. Not enough competition. Wrong. In a market economy, it is highly competitive. Not enough merit goods. Yes, correct. And let me explain later. No consumer choice. Wrong. Market economy has many consumer choice. D. State intervention. No. There's completely no government intervention. So why is B the answer? So actually, in a market economy, there's a lot of private firms. And private firms, they often produce too little of merit goods, because merit goods usually they have high barriers of entry. For example, healthcare services are to save lives, so the job is heavily regulated. So compared to, let's say, opening bubble tea shop, providing healthcare service has a higher barrier of entry, so it's less frequent in market economy. Question 9. Droughts in some country cause the supply of wheat to fall. Wheat prices then rose, providing an opportunity for wheat producers in other countries to increase supply. Why might the price of wheat continue to be high in a year following the drought? Let's give an example. Let's say drought happening in Kenya. So first, let's draw the supply curve. So when supply falls in Kenya, supply curve moves leftwards. So price increase. The question is asking why is the price of wheat is still high in Kenya? It's because supply still hasn't increased in the following year. So right now we need to find an answer that shows supply hasn't increased. So the answer is B. Suppliers unaffected by drought failed to increase output. So why are the other answers are incorrect? Let's give an example where we expect the supply in other countries increase. Right now we draw out the supply curve. Move to the right. However, when the supply increases, it turns out that the price decreases. So, supply increase is the wrong answer. Question 10. Newly built houses tend to be inelastic in supply. A government aim is to make the supply more elastic by relaxing building regulations. Why is the government not likely to achieve this aim immediately? Immediately is the keyword. So first, we need to know the keywords, highlight the keywords. And here are the mnemonics for the determinants of PES. FIST, FIS, factor substitution, inventory level, spare capacity, and time. As we know that for PES to increase and become price elastic, any determinant here must increase. Although the government relaxed the building regulations to allow more houses to be built, the reality is that house builders aren't able to build more houses in short time. So the answer is C, houses take a long period of time to be built, so can't achieve this aim immediately. Question 11. A person planning for old age saves in the form of money rather than goods. Which function does money perform when this is done? So planning for old age refers to future planning. When you see something about money can be used in future, it is definitely store of value. Moving on. Question 12. What is not normally a function of the central bank of a country? So we picked the wrong one. A. Acting as lender of last resort. Yes, it is correct, because central bank, they lend money to commercial banks that are going to go bankrupt. B. Correct. C. Operating the government monetary policy. Yes, they control interest rates, foreign exchange rates, and money supply. D. Setting the government budget. No. Government budget is set by government itself, not central bank. It is under the fiscal policy. 13. What is the trade union most likely to protect? Yeah, it is aimed to protect the interests and right of its worker members. So it's B. Really straightforward. 14. A person sets up a street food store. What is necessary for a food store to survive in the long run? First, growth. No. Because we see the hawker center like in Singapore or Malaysia, their food stores all remain the same in 30 to 40 years. So actually growth is not necessary. Second, profitability. Yes, because they need to earn profit in order to sustain the operation of their business. So the answer is B. 15. A large privately owned firm is the sole supplier of electricity to a city. Which combination of characteristic is likely to exist for this firm? So the keyword is sole supplier. Sole supplier refers to monopoly. This question is testing the characteristic of monopoly. So first, barriers to entry, definitely high, because monopoly, they have high market share and they are already very established. So small firms are harder to join in the market and sustain in the market. Long run profit, high, because there are no competition with other firms. Pricing decision, they are the price maker, because there's zero price competition, so they can charge the price whatever they want. So the answer is A. Moving on, question 16. When a firm produces 200 units, its total variable cost is $600 and its total fixed cost is $2,000. What is the average cost at this output? So you need to know the formula of average cost, which is total fixed cost plus total variable cost divided by total output. So in this case, is 600 plus 2,000 divided by 200. And you get $13 per unit. So answer is C. 17. The government of country Z announces a forecast budget deficit of $234 billion as part of its fiscal policy. What is the effect of this forecast budget deficit likely to be? So budget deficit means government expenditure is more than tax revenue. This means that government spend more than earn. A decrease in economic growth, no. B, a decrease in inflation, no. C, an increase in employment, yes, because government increase spending on workers' training or education, so this increases the productivity of labor market and therefore increasing employment. D, wrong, an increase in unemployment, wrong. So the answer is C. 18. Low-income groups do not pay income tax but are able to use state-provided healthcare services. What does this illustrate? A. Monetary policy. No, because monetary policy is about interest rates. B. Privatization. No, it's irrelevant. C. Redistribution of income. Yes. This is one of the macroeconomic aims to achieve greater equality in income by allowing low-income groups not to pay tax while able to use public healthcare services. D. No. Regressive taxation means that the tax takes away a higher percentage of income of the lower income group than the higher income group. So this is what we usually call poor becomes poorer and the rich become richer. So the answer is C. 19. The government uses monetary policy and reduces the interest rate. What might be a consequence of this? So first, we need to know that when we reduce the interest rate, this will reduce the saving, and as the borrowing cost reduces, this will also increase borrowing, so consumption increases and investment also increases. So A, a decrease in rate of inflation, wrong, because we are not sure about that. B is correct. C, an increase in level saving, wrong. It should be reduced saving rate. And D, an increase in unemployment, no. When the investment increases, this will increase the economic growth, so will increase employment, not increase unemployment. 20. What is the likely objective of supply-side policy? So supply-side policy is the long-term measures aimed to increase the productive capacity or the productive potential of the economy. So A is the correct one. 21. An increase in which economic indicator best describes economic growth? So economic growth is defined by annual increase in the level of national output. So C is the most relevant. 22. What is full employment considered to be? A, no cyclical unemployment. Yes, this means that there's no unemployment caused by fall in total demand in the economy. B, no frictional unemployment. No, because this cannot be prevented. It occurs between people changing jobs. C, no private sector unemployment. It's wrong. D, no seasonal unemployment. Also wrong, because it also cannot be prevented. Occurs between changing seasons. So A is the answer. 23. Which group is most likely to benefit during a period of rapid inflation? So inflation means there's a fall in real value of money. There's usually only one answer, which is people with debts, because the money they need to repay is worth less when they initially borrow it. For example, if I borrow a bank loan at 5% interest rate, but inflation is 4%, this means that the real interest rate I repay is only 1%. So as a person that I need to repay that, I am benefited from inflation. 24. What are the components of Human Development Index, HDI? This one, there's no method, you just need to remember it, which is life expectancy at birth, expected years of education or schooling, and gross national income. 25. Which situation must produce an aging population? So aging population means that there's more old people and less newborn baby, which is a falling birth rate and a falling death rate. 26. The table shows the unemployment rate in 3 developed economies in 1 year. What is the main cause of high rates of unemployment in developed economies in periods of recession? So recession happens when there's fall in total demand in economy for 2 or more consecutive quarters. So A is the answer, decreases in total demand. 27. What is most likely to result from an extension of specialization in manufacturing? As specialization usually produces at a larger scale, so there's lower average cost of production and there's higher economies of scale. So this allows the supplier to charge a lower price. So A is the correct answer. 28. A country imposes a tariff on an imported product. What is the effect of this change? First, price of the product increases. Yes, because tariff is a tax imposed on imported products, so this will increase the selling price of a product. Second, the quantity of the product imported is fixed. No, because this is not import quota. This is tariff. It's a different protectionist measures. 29. The world demand for oil is price inelastic, and oil is paid for in US dollars. If the price of oil falls rapidly, how might it affect the US dollar? So when we say oil is paid for in US dollars, this will increase the demand for US dollar because everyone need to pay in US dollar in order to buy oil. So right now we can draw a demand curve for US dollar. So when the price of oil falls, so the demand of the US dollar also decreases, which causes the demand curve to shift leftwards. And when demand for US dollar falls, this will weaken the currency of US dollar. This causes the exchange rate for US dollar to decrease. So C is the correct answer. 30. Which benefit do MNCs bring to their home country? So MNCs are companies that operate in 2 or more countries. A. Flow of profits. Yes, MNCs, they send their profit back to their home country. B. No, not higher wages. C. Increase employment. Also no, because this will increase the employment in host country. D. Also no, it will increase the investment in the host country. So here's the end of our episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you in the next video.